Okay, so we're back at the adding game. Now I'd like to clean up our code in the view model to begin with. So let's see, we have addition game view model and we have high score view model. Let's start with the addition game view model. And I'm gonna start by adding an import. So import observation. And let's annotate our class with observable. This was introduced in iOS 17. Now we need to remove observable object from over here. And we no longer need published. And now we're going to have an issue. So let's press Command B to try to build the project. And I'm expecting some problem with a state object. Oh, so for the first issue is interesting. So this is only valid in iOS 17. So what we should do is go up to our build, adding game, and make sure we're on iOS 17 to begin with. And now let's compile. And I still expect a certain issue. Okay, so the next issue is more important and we'll deal with it momentarily. So there's an issue with using state object, which we no longer need to use. So I'm going to click on this, and this sent me to the addition game view. So addition game view model has been annotated, and we don't need the state object anymore. Now let's press Command B. Build succeeded, and it would be worthwhile to run the project. But I expect it to be fine. I can press Command R to run. In the meantime, while it's running, I'm going to go to high score view model. So it seems like the game is fine. High score view model. Yeah, the game is fine. And the same thing, right? So we're going to import observation. I'm going to annotate class with observable, remove observable object from here, and then we no longer need the published. Now, before we continue, I do recommend having a look at migrating from the observable object protocol, what we've been using in the application so far, to the observable macro. There's a very good discussion here on how to transfer before and after. This is really worth looking at. So the observable object is replaced with this observable macro. We remove the published, for instance. And they mentioned that it might be worthwhile to migrate incrementally. For instance, we've migrated incrementally at the moment. We haven't changed everything. And actually, our code will not run. Right? We have to remove some state objects from the views, right? We're going to have some state objects in our views. And also in the main app, we have a state object, which should be replaced by a state variable. And our environment object should be replaced by environment. And we're going to end up doing a lot of changes, and it can be error prone. So definitely I recommend having a look at this link. Okay, let's try to run our project. And we have an issue with the state object at the entry point of the app. And I do recommend at this point really that we look at the migration tips or the migration guide. So we're going to want to replace this state object with simply state. Okay, we see this, for instance, in this example over here. We have main book reader app, and we have a variable library which conforms to which is annotated with state object, and we'll replace this with state. In addition, notice that the environment object will be replaced with environment. So let's take care of that now. So I'm going to replace this state object with state, and this environment object with environment. Now we're going to have a bunch of issues here. In general, I'm going to look for environment object throughout the app and replace it with environment. So this is another issue, but we'll take care of this momentarily. So let's search for all occurrences of environment object in our app. So we have an environment object in the main view, which I'm going to replace with environment. Let's ignore this for now. We'll get back to that. So I'm looking for dot environment object. So also in the addition game view, we have dot environment. Oh, we replaced that already. And in the enter new high score view, now we still have some, or plenty of issues actually. So we see something in almost every view. So we have environment object, private, blah, blah, blah. What does it say? Generic struct requires that blah, 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 blah. Again, I recommend that we look at the migration instructions, because we have an identical scenario that I'd like us to examine. So right here. So if we have an environment object in our view, we'll replace it with this code over here. So we have to be quite careful. So let's take care of that. So now we get rid of the environment object and replace it with environment, the actual type. So we need .self actually, and that should be good. We have that issue elsewhere. So let's see where else. So that was in the addition game view, right? We went from this code to this code. Okay, let's try to run this. I know it's not going to run, I'm just using it to find the bugs. Next, let's go to the high score view. So the same solution. We have this high score view model. So I'm going to replace environment object with environment, high score view model self, and I believe that should be fine. And now let's go to, okay, we also have another view, the enter new high score view. So same story, place that with .self. Seems like in the high score view we still have an issue. Yes, right here. Okay, I'm trying to run this. Oh, and we have, I must have missed this one over here. This should be environment. I guess I missed that, even though I thought I had that. This should be environment. And now we're good. Let's search the entire project for environment object, because that should not be here anymore, and it's gone. Now, we didn't have to migrate completely, but that's what we chose to do. So let's see if this actually works. Okay, the game looks all right. I'm going to take a quick look at the high scores. Okay, I played the game in the meantime during the break. Let's see what happens. So adding, can't cheat anymore. So we got rid of the cheat. But I want to get a decent score. Okay. It looks all right, but maybe it's not. right? It's really best to, follow through. And in any case, I'm gonna attach this code in the resources of the current folder, because who knows, maybe there's a bug we missed, although I think now we should be good. So the original project is in the resources folder of the very first lecture, but this updated version will appear in the resources of the current lecture. Okay, so I'm doing quite well. So now let's mess up. I messed up. And my name, I don't know, let's call myself Apples and Oranges. I don't know why. Let's save that and let's see if it's saved. Apples and Oranges is first, but it's not really Apples and Oranges, it's me, right? So let's change the name to run as. Save that. I'm sort of testing things out now, okay? You know what? I'm not happy with that. But let's get rid of Bart. Bart played this game. Or maybe I didn't leave the option to delete. I already don't remember. Okay, good. Wait. Oh yeah, we can delete Bart. I already forgot that I had that option. Okay, so we've migrated to the new iOS 17 version using observation and observable macro. Now keep in mind that at this current point in time, this is still in beta, so things might change. I'll keep things up to date. And in addition, be aware that this is only valid for iOS 17, which I find a little bit annoying. On the other hand, the future is coming, and maybe you're watching this in a year or 2 years or in a few months, and everybody will be on iOS 17, so at the very least. Okay? Great, great. So have an amazing day, and see you next time.